Deep in the annals of history lies one of humanity's greatest tragedies. Not a war, not a plague, but the loss of knowledge itself. The great Library of Alexandria, a beacon of wisdom, a treasure house of human thought, and perhaps the single greatest collection of knowledge the ancient world ever saw. Yet today, it is nothing more than a memory, a legend whispered through time. What exactly was lost when the flames consumed it? And how different might our world be if it had survived? The story begins in the 3rd century BC, in the bustling Egyptian city of Alexandria, founded by Alexander the Great, stood a dream unlike any other. Imagine the city in its prime. White stone buildings rising against the deep blue of the Mediterranean Sea, the towering Pharos lighthouse, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, guiding ships safely into the harbor. It was here that Pharaoh Ptolemy II, successor Ptolemaic, envisioned something unprecedented. He sought to build not just a library, but the greatest repository of human knowledge ever assembled. The library was part of a much larger institution known as a Mouseion, a center dedicated to the Muses, the divine patrons of the arts and sciences. Unlike any place before it, this institution combined study, research, and preservation of texts with the ambition to collect all knowledge from the known world. Its mission was breathtaking in scope: to gather every text, every scroll, every manuscript from every land and every culture. It was a declaration that knowledge itself was the ultimate power. Historians estimate that the library may have housed anywhere from 40,000 to as many as 400,000 scrolls. Imagine halls lined from floor to ceiling with papyrus manuscripts. Imagine scholars from Egypt, Greece, Babylon, India, and perhaps even China, men and women of wisdom walking through corridors of thought, exchanging ideas that transcended borders. Within its walls may have rested writings on mathematics, astronomy, medicine, philosophy, history, engineering, agriculture, navigation, and literature, knowledge that could have reshaped entire eras. The Ptolemies were relentless in their quest to fill the library. It is said that whenever a ship docked in Alexandria, its manuscripts were seized by officials, copied by scribes, and stored within the library's walls. The originals were often kept, while the copies were returned to the owners. In this way, Alexandria became a crossroads not only of trade, but of wisdom. It wasn't merely a place of learning. It was a bold attempt to control and preserve the very essence of human thought. But what exactly was inside those walls? That is the mystery that haunts historians. Some accounts suggest texts on advanced medicine, knowledge of surgical techniques, and herbal remedies lost to time. The ancient Egyptians, after all, had a deep understanding of the human body, and Greek physicians like Hippocrates and Galen studied anatomy centuries before the Renaissance rediscovered it. Could the library have contained cures or treatments that might have saved millions of lives across history? Others whisper of lost sciences, of blueprints from machines, steam-powered engines, mechanical devices, and tools that could have propelled humanity centuries ahead. We know the hero of Alexandria, a brilliant mathematician, an engineer who lived in the 1st century CE, invented a primitive steam engine, the Olopile. But what if this was just a fragment of knowledge preserved from older works? Could humanity have leapt into the industrial age 1,000 years before it actually did? Could flight, electricity, or even early space exploration have been within reach in the ancient world? And then there are the legends. Some believe the library may have contained records of lost civilizations, perhaps even references to the mythical Atlantis. Others suggest it housed maps showing coastlines of continents yet to be discovered, long before the voyages of Columbus or Magellan. Imagine manuscripts detailing voyages across oceans, linking the old world and the new thousands of years earlier. What truths about our origins and migrations might have been quietly recorded, only to vanish in flame and ruin. The destruction of the Library of Alexandria is itself shrouded in uncertainty, one of history's most enduring mysteries. Some say the first blow came in 48 BC, when Julius Caesar, trapped by enemy ships, ordered the harbor to be set ablaze. Flames spread beyond control, consuming warehouses and, according to some sources, thousands of scrolls destined for the library. Others argue that later Roman emperors, suspicious of foreign wisdom, allowed the library to wither away. Another theory places the blame in the 3rd century CE, during Emperor Aurelian's campaign against Queen Zenobia Palmyra, when large parts of Alexandria were destroyed. And still others insist the final act came in the 7th century, when religious fervor declared pagan writings heretical and condemned them to fire. Perhaps the truth is not one single catastrophe, but a slow erosion, a series of tragedies, neglect, and indifference that chipped away at the collection until nothing remained. 1,000 small losses, each one erasing a piece of the human story. But the haunting question remains, what if it had survived? What if the accumulated knowledge of Egypt, Greece, Babylon, India, and beyond had been preserved through the centuries, passed unbroken to future generations? Would humanity have eradicated diseases like smallpox and plague far earlier? Could electricity have been harnessed in the Middle Ages? Might Leonardo da Vinci's dreams of flight have become reality centuries before his birth? Would the world have avoided centuries of darkness, superstition, and war, enlightened instead by wisdom that connected rather than divided us? The Library of Alexandria stands as both a monument to human ambition and a warning of how fragile wisdom can be. It is a reminder that progress is not guaranteed, that knowledge, once lost, can alter the destiny of civilizations. Imagine a world where every invention came 1,000 years earlier. Imagine a humanity already traveling the stars by the year 1000. Our very sense of time and history could have been rewritten. And yet, fragments of that wisdom still survive. Copies of manuscripts carried away before the fall. Texts preserved by Arab scholars, hidden in monasteries, and rediscovered in the Renaissance. They are echoes of a lost ocean of knowledge, tiny drops that remind us of what once was. The great library itself, however, remains only a ghost. What was truly lost, we may never know. But one thing is certain. The burning of the Library of Alexandria was not just a destruction of books. It was a silencing of countless voices across time. And perhaps, in that silence, lies the greatest mystery of all. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more ancient documentary.